hide your skin if you can help heal your skin from within. Dupixent helps keep you one step ahead of eczema with clearer skin and less itch.
Hide my skin? Not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Tomorrow on ET, we're at the world premiere of Jurassic World Dominion.
Wow. Yeah. I need to work at ET.
Oh, yeah, we can get rid of him. We can get rid of him, Chris.
Hey, Chris, let's swap. Come on, I'll take the dinosaurs.
Happening now.
Two San Antonio musicians take a look back at the life of Ram Ayala and the legendary Taco Land bar next. Almost 2 weeks since the Rob Elementary shooting, and we are still laying victims to rest. We're live in Uvalde next.
On the city's west side this afternoon, nearly 30 units responding to a house fire. Coming up, what neighbors saw and what lives were saved.
As we string together 100-degree days, I'll compare so far this summer to previous summers, and we'll talk about what's going to happen ahead. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, it's been almost 2 weeks since an 18-year-old opened fire inside Robb Elementary, killing 19 children and 2 teachers.
Today, the funerals in that small town continue. Our Lee Waldman live in Uvalde. Lee, we've been focusing on those lost in this tragedy. Another family burying a loved one today.
Steve, Ursula, 9-year-old Eliana Garcia, lovingly known as Ellie, was buried today. Her services happened at Sacred Heart Catholic Church this morning at 10 o'clock. According to her obituary, she would have turned 10 years old last Saturday. Her family said she loved the Disney movie Encanto and was hoping for presents related to that movie. Her funeral coincides with the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' visit to Uvalde. He met with local officials privately. We know he also stopped by Robb Elementary and laid flowers down at the memorial. We also saw officials putting up fences and boarding windows at the backside of the school. Today, we sat down with Alfred Garza. His daughter, A-Marie Jo Garza, was killed inside of Robb Elementary. He talked about the day A-Marie was born and how he felt laying her to rest. We'll have that part of the story tonight at 6. Live in Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. New at 5, she was trapped by flames inside her bedroom. But San Antonio firefighters say her quick thinking saved her life and others. That fire started around noon on Neptune Street, not far from Lowell Middle School. Alicia Barrera shares details of the damages and the dangers that firefighters face as we head into the heart of this 100-degree heat wave.
Billows of black smoke could be seen from downtown.
And I heard like a bang.
The source, a green-roofed home engulfed in flames just down the street from Mrs. Rachel Sanchez's home on Neptune Street.
And all of a sudden we just started hearing like pops and, fire was just going up in the air.
While neighbors rushed to call 911 and flames quickly destroyed a second home, those inside the greenhouse ran for their lives.
There was a granddaughter that was in the back bedroom. She was trapped in there by the smoke and the heat. She was able to push out the AC unit and escape out of the window.
Thankfully, the woman's 2 grandparents made it out moments before, and no serious injuries were reported. An official cause has yet to be determined.
Today's rising heat also played a big factor in firefighters immediately calling for that 2-alarm fire. This allows for them to take breaks in order to complete their full shift.
We're monitoring a full set of vitals, pulse ox, putting them on monitors, making sure that we're checking everything and maybe even their glucose levels because they have another probably 20 hours to work.
And Chief Hood says it's barely the start of a very hot and demanding week for the city's fire department. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
We want you to take a look at this man. The Jourdanton Police Department putting a warning out. They say if you see this man, don't stop to try and help him. His name is Luis Daniel Rodriguez.
He's believed to be riding a bike or maybe walking along Highway 16 in the Jourdanton area. At least that's where he's been seen. Police say he's wanted for murder, and if you see him, you should call 911. Details related to the crime have not been released. June 23rd, 2005. The Spurs had just won their 3rd championship, and about 4 miles away from celebrations, the early morning hours of June 24th, Two men, well known in the San Antonio music scene, were murdered in the Taco Land bar.
That's been 17 years. Today, we bring you a 3-part South Texas crime story series remembering those victims. But we're also hearing for the first time ever from the man who was convicted of those murders.
Erica Hernandez went back to where the bar used to be and talked with some band members on how Taco Land owner Ramiro Ram Ayala is still missed by so many.
The NBA Finals were over and the city was celebrating the Spurs' 3rd championship. Not far from those celebrations, a deadly shooting took place on West Grayson Street at a small bar called Taco Land. 2 men walked in, played a game of pool, and then one of them got into an argument with the owner, shot him, shot 2 other employees, then robbed the place for $200. Owner Ramiro Ram Ayala died that night. The doorman Doug Morgan died days later, and another employee, Denise Coger, would survive her injuries.
We're still in mourning, you know. It's a gaping void.
Eric Sandin and Odie were members of bands that played regularly at the legendary Taco Land, which was known for showcasing local bands and popular among local musicians. The two were also very good friends with owner Ayala.
He could be extremely salty with his language and scary at night. And then we'd see him during the day because we rehearsed here, and he was so sweet and gentle.
Over the years, Taco Land has changed and has never been quite what it used to be.
I mean, it was very funky. Parts of the wall are still here.
The tree's
still here.
And even though time has gone by and the place is no longer a music venue or bar, Ram's spirit still remains.
Things move on. Like
nothing lasts forever.
I have them in my heart and in my mind.
Coming up at 6, we take a look at the life of Doug Morgan, his close friend, telling us how special of a person he was and how he was a hero the night of the shooting. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
We've got some new information on a double fatal crash from yesterday. One of the victims identified as 26-year-old Renee Anthony Morales. The second man who died is 56 years old. We're still working to learn his name. The two died early Sunday after they crashed on I-37. Both vehicles landed in a grassy median. The drivers died at the scene.
Going to take a live look outside. This is I-10 at Probant. Don't appear to be any problems here. Just kind of slow traffic. You can see someone pulling over on the right-hand side, slowing things down just a little bit.
And of course, people have the AC cranked up in the vehicles if possible. Otherwise, the windows are down. 103 so far today, and that's the new record high temperature. The previous record, 101, set back in 2018. And we're a good 11 degrees above the average high temperature of 92. So we're feeling the heat. Del Rio, Warren's backyard, he just called in 109 degrees. Even Schertz, 105. Lakey, 103. West Kerrville, triple digits. Utopia, 102. Lavernia area, 105. Nobody has a break from this heat. We still have the heat advisory in effect until 8 p.m. because it's not just the heat, but also the humidity. We'll go over heat indices in a little bit, how hot it feels out there. At least a nice breeze, southeast 10 to 20 through the evening as temperatures gradually fall. Talk about what's in store the rest of the week coming up.
It's a June heat wave. Thank you, Adam. Well, CPS Energy, speaking of that, rolling out a new way to notify customers on how much they need to conserve energy on any given day. The utility using different colors to communicate conservation severity. Green represents everyday conservation, like setting thermostats to 78 degrees in the summer, 68 in the winter, or using fans to keep cool. Yellow for peak energy demand days when increased conservation is needed. Customers asked to avoid using large appliances and minimizing AC and heater use. Orange means the energy grid is at risk. Customers should limit power use and prepare for outages. And red indicates controlled power outages are in progress. Customers will need to find alternative plans for medical devices, keep the fridge closed, turn the AC and the heater off till power's restored.
And while we're on the subject of the intense heat this week, hot cars are on a fast track to tragedy. On average, around 38 children die every year after being left in a hot car. That's 38 too many. Now there's a push to make parents more aware of the dangers.
It can happen in a matter of minutes.
As the sun beats down on a car, a danger rises up.
Children, in fact, they get overheated 3 to 5 times faster than adults. This can prove to be very, very deadly.
Leaving a child in a car, even for a quick errand, can be dangerous. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says when it's 75 degrees, it takes 30 minutes for the inside of your car to hit 104 degrees. But the danger rises with the temperature. At 95 degrees outside, it takes 5 minutes for the inside to reach 102.
Children, they don't do a good job of sweating. They also dehydrate very, very quickly, and they don't evaporate the heat from their skin as efficiently as adults, which makes being in a hot environment, including being in a hot car, a particularly dangerous situation for small children and infants.
Pediatric emergency physician Dr. Manisha Argawal says that many times exhausted parents accidentally forget their child is in the car. Experts suggest buckling a stuffed animal in the front seat or putting something you need in the back seat with your child.
Some people say put one of your shoes back there. Some people say put your phone, put your purse, put your wallet. Hopefully it will trigger you to look back and notice, oh, my child is back there too. I need to do something.
You can only imagine how quickly a car is going to heat up in these record-breaking triple-digit temperatures. And it's not just up to parents to take special care, but also up to anyone nearby who might notice there's a child locked in a car. And if you do see one, call 911 immediately because they may already be suffering heat stroke.
Let's talk prices now, like gas prices. Filling up your tank getting more expensive by the week. The price is unprecedented. The average price here today in San Antonio, $4.50 a gallon.
Incredible. So how are people coping? Is there relief in sight? And are we going to see $5 a gallon gas here? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has got some answers for you.
$4.69 a gallon. And this is not California.
How much does it cost you to fill up your Tahoe?
$85.10.
What do you think about that?
It is crazy.
San Antonio drivers are feeling the squeeze as gas prices soar another 33 cents in just the past week.
Don't fill it up anymore. I just don't fill up the car. I can't.
$70 for a tank of gas. You see a lot of that. This same time last year, that tank of gas would have cost you $30 less. So for drivers like Langston Clark, it means changing habits.
No extra trips, not this summer.
And Sandy Castro, whose Suburban guzzles at least $100 a tank, says summer road trips are a no-go.
Absolutely not. Thank goodness we have a swimming pool in our backyard, so we're just going to do a staycation at home.
What's driving this super surge? Analysts say it's a culmination of factors. Oil is $120 a barrel, the Russia invasion, booming global demand, and refining capacity that can't keep up. So are we barreling toward $5 gas?
It's not impossible. I'm going to hope not, but as long as Americans keep filling their tanks at the same pace, it's going to continue going up.
Gas Buddy's chief analyst says expect a rough summer, especially if hurricanes disrupt. Right now, there is no relief in sight, at least until fall.
I normally drive a truck, but I had to go back to it.
So for now, Nino Guastafiero is gassing up his bike, putting his pickup in park. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Noticed a lot of people smiling as they were doing that interview. It's either smile or cry at the prices. Still ahead at 5, the COVID vaccine could soon be available to children as young as 6 months old. But why is it taking so long? One university health doctor weighs in and shares more about the vaccine plan for younger kids when we come back.
Gas prices are painfully high for all of us right now. And after the ban on Russian oil, some argue just produce more here at home. But is that really a solution? I'm Myra Arthur here in McMullen County, where they are seeing an increase in oil field activity. We're going to talk about what life has been like here since the days of the Eagle Ford shale boom. Plus, what's driving those incredibly high prices today. KSAT Explains is coming up at 6.
Plus, we're learning more about an unusual outbreak of monkeypox. While it's not fatal most of the time, it can leave you permanently scarred. What doctors are now saying you need to know about how this is spread and why these early cases are no indication of who can and will get sick. That story and more tonight at 6.
As COVID cases continue to rise, next week, the FDA is planning to consider authorizing vaccines for children as young as 6 months old. Dr. Mandy Svatek with University Health explains the vaccine has not been made available for kids in this age group, not because of safety concerns. Rather, researchers have been working to get the 3-dose series just right, she says.
They were looking at was more on the effectiveness side and how well you built that immune response from COVID. So for children that are 5 to 11, 10 micrograms is the current dose. For children that are below the age of 5, that dosing is 3 micrograms.
An FDA panel will discuss Pfizer's emergency use authorization request on June 15th, along with Moderna's request.
Taking a look outside with live cam, you know you're in trouble when it's over 90 degrees at noon. Yeah, look at that, 103.
103. I was hoping maybe the temperature gauge in my car was wrong.
Well, usually it is a little off.
But it was right on today.
Yeah, often they can be off if you've been parked in, a sunny spot over asphalt for a bit. But once you're cruising, they can readjust. And yeah, the car temperature wasn't too far from reality out there. 7 100-degree days so far this year. Our average annual count is 9. We're obviously on track to smash that. More records are in jeopardy, more record high temperatures. I think about 3 more will fall over the next 7 days as the triple digits, they continue for the foreseeable future. Okay, take a look at this interesting stat. Now, this is the number of 100-degree days before June 10th. We've had 7. That's the most 100-degree days before June 10th that we've had on record here in San Antonio. And of course, our records date back to 1885. 103 right now. Oof. So we overlook the airport, our official reporting station. Nothing but sunshine and heat. 103. Dew point is 64. So it feels like it's 3 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature. And you look at the air temperatures, these are the actual measurements, not the heat indices. 108 Eagle Pass, 108 Del Rio, Hondo, Pleasanton, 105. We're feeling the triple digits just about everywhere, with the exception of closer to the Gulf coastline. That's typically where dew points and humidities are higher, and in turn, that moisture in the air prevents the air from heating up as much. Nonetheless, we're all feeling the heat. Look at Divine right now, 109. That's the reading at their site. Comfort, 103, along with New Braunfels. Yep, we're feeling it. And when you factor in the humidity, this is what it feels like. This is a calculation. Of course, it's a little subjective as well. A lot of research went into the formula. But if you factor in the humidity, according to the calculations, Bulverde should feel like it's 108. Kerrville feeling like 110, and Bandera feeling like 108. This heat, it's going to continue. 102 tomorrow, 101 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 102, 103. And basically, we're going to be just above 100 by a degree or 3 over the foreseeable future. So the rest of this week through the weekend and even by next Monday. All right, let's talk about the satellite and radar, the real big picture and what's helping to cause some of this heat. First of all, Big Blue H, it's split a little bit right now. It actually extends all the way into the Pacific Ocean, but it's been pretty much right overhead, and it's going to just center itself even more so overhead. So whenever we have this upper level high, that means the dry conditions, it's also pressing down on us, and the compression of that air heats it up as well. So this is going to be in charge, skirting any shower and thunderstorm activity way far away from us. We do get into a bit of a northwesterly flow aloft by late Friday and into the weekend, but we don't think it's going to change a whole lot. Temperatures are still going to be up there. So this evening, gradually falling through the 90s and 80s. Tomorrow morning, we start the day at 75. Some low clouds early, then we clear out by 9, 10 a.m. A lot of sunshine noon. 93. Luckily, there will be a bit of a wind out of the south-southeast at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. 102 by 5 p.m. tomorrow. That's our forecasted high. And you look elsewhere, triple digits. Bernie 100, Hondo 105 tomorrow, Poteet 104, Seguin 101. And then that trend just continues with a degree or 2 fluctuation here and there. But I do think Wednesday, Friday, and Monday will be record-tying or record-breaking high temperatures.
Not a fan of that forecast.
No. Didn't win anyone over with that.
We could use a fan, actually.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Very large.
Very well said. All right, so we've got a series now.
Yeah, we do, and it didn't quite go the way I thought it would go. I thought Boston would win the second game, not the first game, but it is all tied up 1-1 as we go to Game 3. When we come back, more about what happened in Game 2, and Larry Coker, the former UTSA head football coach, on the Hall of Fame ballot coming up. The Golden State Warriors have gotten even with the Boston Celtics to move the NBA Finals to a 1-1 tie after taking Game 2 in San Francisco last night. It was a tough first half as both teams fought hard, including former Spur Derek White, who had 21 points and 5 3-pointers in Game 1. Now in the second quarter, White with a pull-up jumper from 15 feet. White now all alone in the corner for a 3-pointer, and the Celtics are up 40-35. But the Warriors' Andrew Wiggins scored 7 points in the last 5 minutes, including the final basket, and the Warriors' 52-50 lead at halftime. The Warriors start to pull away in that third quarter, just like Game 1. That's where Steph Curry started to find his range. There's a 14-point lead. Next time down the floor, this one is from 30 feet away. Add to that Jordan Poole's play as he lifts a 30-footer himself, part of a 20-point lead as Golden State outscores Boston 35-14 in the quarter. Only this time, no four-quarter comeback for the Celtics. The lead would expand to 29. Steph Curry finishes with 29. Boston Jason Tatum with 28. And the Warriors 107-88 victory.
Our offense is always a lot of Steph. It all starts with Steph, whether when KD was here, our offense still started with Steph. And, that's the way it's going to be. I think, when you're playing against a team like that, you have to get offense from other places and not just Steph. And I think for the most part, we did a pretty good job of that.
They did all the stuff that we talked about, stuff that we knew they were going to do going in. And we just got to be ready to go from that second half on. I don't know, it's easy to talk about it, but we got to go there and take it up, each man to themselves, and go and do it.
All right, it continues Wednesday with Game 3 in Boston, 8 o'clock live here on KSAT 12. The ratings for Game 1 of the NBA Finals are in, and it's a reflection just how exciting the Boston Celtics comeback was to upset the Warriors in San Francisco. According to Nielsen, Game 1 averaged nearly 12 million viewers on ABC and ESPN2 platforms. It was up 37% from last year's Game 1. As a result, the game won the night all across television, broadcast, and cable, peaking at nearly 13 million viewers at about 9:45 San Antonio time. Congratulations to former UTSA head football coach Larry Coker. He's one of 9 coaches named to the 2023 ballot for induction into the College Football Hall of Fame. Coker was selected to start the UTSA football program back on March 6, 2009, leading to opening day, where a record 56,743 fans filled the Alamo Dome on September the 3rd, 2011, to watch the Roadrunners beat Northeastern State 31-3. He also led Miami to a national championship in 2001. And get this, the current head coach, Jeff Traylor, is on the cover of Dave Campbell's Football Magazine this summer. We'll have more on that coming up for you tonight on the Night Beats.
Forged on Fridays or something like that.
Very well said, yes, sir.
Yeah.
A high school connection to college.
Yeah.
Very cool. We'll be right back.
So tomorrow morning, mid-70s.
No, I'm paying attention.
Okay, yeah,
Go ahead.
hey, just
I'm paying attention. Yeah.
Mid-70s in the morning. And then 102 in the afternoon, feeling like it's about 104.
Thanks, Adam.
You didn't want to see all those 100-degree temperatures anyway, did you?
That was ugly.
No, we'll save them for 6.